Hi there, welcome to Dressmakers Closet. My name is Jane. Today's video is all about this gorgeous new blouse I've made by Atelier Scammit. So hi and welcome back, and anybody that's new here to this channel, hello, you're welcome, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe if you want to follow along with my dressmaking journey. So yeah, it's all about this blouse that I'm wearing. Absolutely love it. Mind you, I say that with everything I make, don't I? Well, no, I don't. I wasn't loving my Lepage jacket. That's gone on the back burner. And I'm definitely going to make that again with better fabric, and I'm going to go down a size. And I've also got my wooden clapper, which may help. So that'll be another vlog. So yeah, so this is the Atelier Scammit Passion Blouse, and I'll just show you. That's the pattern, and it's a French company, and this pattern and this gorgeous crepe polka dot fabric was kindly gifted to me in return for a blog post from the lovely ladies Fliss and Caroline, who run Felicity Fabrics, and they sell the most beautiful, exquisite fabrics. You must go and take a look. They just have really special fabrics that they sell online. I did, if you recall, my Ida blouse, which was another fabric they gifted to me, and they obviously realised what type of thing that I liked, and they said they were stocking the new Atelier Scammit patterns, and they just thought of me and straight away and said, would I like to make one of the patterns and pick some fabric? And I'm like, well, yeah, hello. So I chose as I say, the Passion blouse, and because I like, if you probably follow me and you probably know that I do like blouses, and I do like ruffles, and I do like high necks and flounces and frills and things like that. So this one immediately popped out on the choice of patterns, and I thought, yeah, that's really right up my street. And first of all, I picked like a little ditzy floral fabric, but then they just listed this gorgeous crepe polka dot, and I just thought, oh no, this would be perfect for it. And when I got the fabric and I was cutting it out yesterday, with it being crepe, I thought, oh, this is going to be a bit of a slippery critter. A little bit movement on the cutting table, you know, as you cut it out, then it tends to move itself. But apart from that, it just stitched a dream. Great to handle, and it's just a beautiful fabric, really is gorgeous. Now, it won't iron. I tried to iron it, and so I tried to follow the instructions, and you know, you've got to press certain things. It just would not press, and I didn't want to press too hard with my iron and spoil the fabric. And I haven't got my pressing cloth yet, which I'm waiting to come from Amazon. So I didn't want to like spend too long pressing it with my iron. So I gave up on like trying to press the creases in when I was doing the neck and the cuffs, but that was fine because they have a lot, when you cutting the pattern pieces out, there's a lot of notches, like it seems to be notches everywhere on all the pattern pieces, and I thought, God, this, you know, notch central here, but when you're sewing it together, all the notches make sense, and they line up absolutely brilliantly, and they're there for a reason, because at each stage, wherever you sew, if you're just sewing the sleeves, or you're sewing the neck, or you're sewing the sides, obviously the main notches match each other, but then there's the little notches that are also there. They guide you on where your seam allowance should be and where you should be finishing. So I thought that was quite useful, quite liked it. The only downside I found was, obviously it's a French company, and the instructions, I'll show you the little booklet that you get. The instructions come in French and in English, but they are a bit sparse, to say the least. And if you were an absolute beginner, I think you'd probably flounder on this pattern. But saying that, I thought surely they must have online tutorials or videos, and sure enough, if you go onto Atelier Scammit website, underneath this particular pattern, I haven't looked at what the other patterns are like, but under this particular pattern, it's got the description, then it's also got the video. So if you click on the video, it takes you to the YouTube. So that was good. Now to start with, it's obviously in French. So then I put the subtitles on, which are still in French, persevered. And if you click on the subtitles, then you can change the auto subtitle thing and pick your language. So which I did. So I picked English, obviously. So so she's chatting away in French, and the subtitles I got changed to English, which helped immensely. And I had to like rewind and stop and pause and rewind and stop and pause at certain points in the instructions that I just couldn't fathom. But saying that, if you can't manage to get the subtitles changed over, at least if you're watching what she's doing, regardless whether you can understand what she's saying, you can fathom out what it is she's doing. So I found that quite useful. I probably would have got there in the end anyway if the video wasn't there. But if you were new to sewing, new to dressmaking, or a little bit rusty and you're just coming back into dressmaking, I wouldn't attempt this to start with, because I think it might put you off. But what a lovely few hours sewing. Well, I did it over on and off throughout the day yesterday and on and off throughout the day today. But I could have done it in maybe, if I stuck at it and did the whole in one block, it probably took me about 3 to 4 hours. And what a lovely, pleasant sew this was. I like the way, now also because I'm like a bull in a china shop and never read the patterns fully, I am starting to now. I now go and get a cup of coffee, read through the instructions before I even cut out. But with this one, I cut it all out and I didn't. And then when I looked at the notions that you need, it takes for the neck and for the cuff. So there's a few choices in what to make. Let's see if I can get you the picture. So you can go, there's all the choices. So there's obviously long sleeved, and then there's short sleeved, and then there's with the pockets or without the pockets. Then you go for the collar stand ruffle neck or just the ruffle neck. And obviously then you can have a plain sleeve, or you can have the sleeve with the cuff stand and then the ruffle, or the sleeve with the ruffle. So there's loads of different options. So I went for option, I don't know what option it's called, but I went for the ruffle neck and the ruffle cuffs without the stand, because I just did the collar stand on my Victoria blouse that I did for my solar look. So I wanted to just try something different. And it was really, really clever how it's done. But obviously I didn't read the notions, because I never do. I just look, you know, how much fabric you need, and that's me done. To do the neck and to do the cuffs, you needed shearing elastic, but not just any old shearing elastic tape, which I've never heard of. So obviously I didn't have any, and I've since ordered some off Amazon. And I'll get a picture and I'll pop a picture up just to show you. I mean, you might have heard of it, but I hadn't heard of it. I just heard of the plain old shearing elastic that you put in your bobbin in your machine and sew your lines. Whereas this is like elastic, and it's got like strips of elastic, and then a gap where you stitch on your machine. I'm guessing. Obviously, I haven't used it. So, because I couldn't wait, because I wanted to get this made, I just thought, right, I'm going to use my own elastic. So I had some of this elastic, and it called for an inch wide shearing elastic tape. So I cut the pieces that you needed out of this, and then I cut it into the 1 inch wide strip. This is a cuff piece, but I cut obviously the neck piece, which is longer. Then I needed 2 cuff pieces, and I just got a piece of fabric and I just tested a bit out, and I just did zigzag stitch on the fabric just to see what it would look like, and it was absolutely fine. So I just did the neck. It asked you to do 6 rows of stitching on this elastic. obviously you pull the elastic. You pull the elastic as you're going along, and then obviously it pulls it in. So I just obviously used this elastic and just did zigzag stitch. So I don't know whether you can see on the neck, I'll come a little bit closer. It creates like a zigzag gathered stitch. Now obviously, because I've used this elastic, I'm guessing because I haven't got it yet, I'm guessing it's finer. So because I've used this elastic, it's quite thick, quite bulky, and it's a little bit rigid round here, but nobody knows except me. So I'm going to do this blouse again, definitely, because I just love it. I love the patch pockets at the front. It's like a shirt shape rather than a floaty blouse, like shirt. But it's not fitted, there's no darts, but it's obviously the way it's been designed. And I like the fact that it's can be dressed down and obviously can be dressed up. I'm definitely going to make it again, and obviously I'll have the proper shearing elastic tape, and then I can do it again, and it probably will be thinner and probably less bulky. And the same with the cuffs. It is a little bit, this cuff's a little bit rigid, and I've got you can see where the elastic finishes there, and I'm guessing it would be softer with the tape. But apart from that, love it. I didn't it's you make your elastic neck, and then you stitch it obviously right sides together around the neck area, and then you get some bias binding and you bind on the inside. But after I've done that and I stitched it all together, I came to the cuffs, and again with the cuffs you put the cuff on, and then they asked you to add the bias binding there, which I thought was a little bit unnecessary. So I just added my cuff, and then I just overlocked it, and it's absolutely fine. So next time I'll probably do the same for the neck, just overlock the neck, because it lifts up and it's all behind there anyway, and you can't see it. So that was my little make do, and it's worked out fine, but obviously I've got the real thing coming, and I'll just show you the neck, the back area. So where are we? So it's obviously a little keyhole opening type of thing, and I just found an old-fashioned button out of my button tin and just made a button loop, and really pretty. I wasn't going to put the breast pockets on, but I thought, well, why not? She had a good little tutorial on the video on how to get the points lovely and neat, which I think worked out quite well. And obviously I couldn't press because they would not press at all. This fabric wouldn't press. So I just followed what she did on the video. You sew your corders, fold it over, which naturally brings the edges in, and then top stitched absolutely fine. And I did think, like I said before, this fabric was going to be a little bit of a slippery critter, but it stitched absolutely fine. I just kept my normal sewing machine foot on. So really lovely fabric, and I've got my little swatch card that you always get with Felicity fabrics, and it is 100% polyester bubble crepe, this fabric, and wash on 30 degrees and low iron. Well, yeah, it doesn't want to iron, but it's not. This is not going to crease at all. And it's the Tea Party Polka Dot, and they have this on their website, and I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful fabric. So I'll just show you a little bit me stood up, and it's long. It's quite a long, can you see it's really straight? There is no shaping as such, and yeah, so I'm just going to wear mine tucked in. I can't really tuck it in because my microphone leads in the way, but I'm going to wear mine tucked in, and you can see how pretty that little cuff is. And there's also a little fold on both sleeves towards the back, which is a nice little design. Nice little fold tuck. And I really like this blouse. And when I finished it, so the postman came with a little parcel today because I went and ordered a wooden clapper which I should have had when I did my Lepage jacket for my seams, because that was another thing that really bugged me. So it came, I ordered this from Maven Patterns. I just ordered it myself. It's not affiliate or anything like that. It wasn't gifted to me. I bought it myself. I thought I'm going to treat myself and get one, and it's going to be an investment, and I'm going to use it forevermore. And the handmade, beautiful, soft wooden clapper. And literally what you do is, which I did it on this blouse, amazing. You hold the steam off your iron literally above your seam that you want to press for a few seconds so the heat goes into the fabric, and then you press this down onto that heat on the seam, and you press down, and I haven't read the instructions yet, as usual. I'm not sure how long you're supposed to hold it for, and then you hold it down onto that seam, and apparently the heat from the wood and the fabric sets the seam flat. It really does work. I was amazed. And I did the pockets, lovely pressed top of the pocket, and I just pressed it down, and it worked like a dream. So a bit of an investment. I think it cost me 36-ish pounds, something like that. But again, it's handmade and it's an investment. It's going to last me forever. So I've got one at last. Been wanting one for ages, so I treat myself. Sizing, I did size 10, which I thought there's no way. But went off the measurements. Their size 10 is not necessarily our size 10. I would have said their size 10 is more our size 12. But I just went off the measurements. It doesn't really matter what the size is. I went off the finished measurements for me, and I just fell into their size 10. And another thing, actually, their notches on the sleeves, you know, we have 2 notches which marks the back of the sleeve and the 1 notch for the front of the sleeve. Their notches, they have 2 notches which marks the front of the sleeve. So that through me. And when she was on the video, she was on about, you know, when she's putting the sleeves in and the notches, 2 notches, and I had to rewind it thinking, did she say 2 notches? And then I thought my subtitles must be wrong, it can't be 2 notches. But when I googled it, apparently in France the 2 notches mean the front of the sleeve. So that's obviously something else to look out for when you're doing a non-English pattern. The fabrics recommended for this pattern is batiste, whatever that is, I'm not sure what that is, crepe, which is what I did, voile, or like a light denim. So would I make it again? Definitely. Would I recommend it? Definitely. Just take your time and use the video. That's what they're there for, supposed to help, because the instructions are a little bit on the thin side, and also the diagrams. You do get diagrams, but again, they are sometimes hard to fathom out what the diagrams mean. And also, if I'm being really picky, cutting layout is really super faint. You can hardly see what the layout is there, really faint. Could have done with a bit more ink in the printer, I think. That is the Atelier Scammit French company shirt, because it's definitely a shirt blouse. And thank you Phyllis and Caroline for this beautiful fabric and this pattern, and obviously I will be doing a blog post for them on this too. So I'll pop some pictures up of me wearing it in the garden. As I say, I'm going to wear mine tucked in. I won't be wearing it out because I think it's a proper shirt style which needs to be tucked in. And it goes really well with my cape. I've got a picture of me wearing that too. And I've got a little bit of fabric left, so I think I might make myself a raggy brooch. And I think a raggy brooch on there would look quite cute. And somebody's asked me, would I do another tutorial on the raggy brooch? Well, I do have a tutorial on how to make the raggy brooch, but I'm thinking of doing another one by making it in a slight variation to how I normally make them. So watch out for that. And I've got my next vlog, which is coming hopefully this week, is my closet case, Jenny overalls, but the trousers in a mustard denim, so I've got that coming too. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope it's enlightened you, and maybe you've never heard of Atelier Scammit. You can get quite a lot of them on Felicity Fabrics website, and I'll pop the link for their website in the box below, and then you can go over and have a look at the patterns. They really are pretty patterns. So thank you so much for watching today, and obviously give me a thumbs up if you like today's video, and if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That's really nice if you do. And as I say, I've got lots more sewing to come as always, and I'm always keeping myself busy, as you probably know. So until the next time, thanks so much for joining me today, and please take care, and as always, happy sewing.